Hey, everybody, welcome again to the Podriplegics podcast. The whole crew is here, and we have a special guest, Mr. Joe Jackson. Joe Jackson is a quad rugby player attempting to be in the Paralympics quad rugby team. I'll let him tell you most of the goodies, but without further ado, Mr. Joe Jackson, how are you today?
Doing well, thanks. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on. We always appreciate it. We always like to hear new people's stories and all those kind of things. But again, I always start with the same questions so everybody's on the same page. Tell us what your level of injury is, what your disability is, how you got the disability, and we'll go from there.
Okay, yeah, I am a C6 incomplete quadriplegic, and I was playing football for my high school team on varsity, and we were getting ready for a semi-state final game, and semi-final state football game. And I went over to help on a tackle because we just thrown an interception during a scrimmage, and I broke my C6 vertebrae. So then I was air vac to St. Joe's Hospital. I was only 16 years old, junior in high school, just gotten my driver's license, just got my car. So yeah, I was over there this was in 2005, in November, right before Thanksgiving. And I got out in February, so about 3 months in rehab. And so my goal was pretty much to just get back to high school and graduate with my class. I was able to do that in 2007. Discovered the movie Murderball, which I'm sure a lot of quads did back then. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get into this. It's fast paced, it's contact. I like contact sports. I could be an athlete again. So did that. Went to ASU in fall of 2007 as well for industrial engineering. Haven't finished yet. Kind of put that on the side and found rugby and just kind of been rolling with that ever since. My father and I also founded the Joe Jackson Foundation just because we wanted to give back to the community, because the community raised so much money for me and I just wasn't expecting it. And you kind of learn that, like, to be able to be active, it costs a lot of money, Mm-hmm. Instead of $150 for some basketball shoes or whatever, it's like $5,000 for a custom chair. So
Yep. A lot.
Hey Joe, what's the current status? I know the Paralympics are this summer, but I guess you haven't really been able to practice or as a team. What's going on now?
That's not necessarily true. The club team hasn't been able to practice, like the team at Ability 360. But at Ability, they're still allowing like one person per court, and we're gonna have practice in May, so it's gonna amp up. But in January, that was our first practice like as a team for like a year. Well, 10 months, 11 months.
Mm-hmm.
So we were able to do that.
Oh, that had to feel good. Get together again, yeah. That
felt really good.
Yeah. Right. When I first started working at Ability, that's when I met Joe. Never heard anything about rugby, nothing. And somebody was like, "Oh, you gotta come see rugby. You gotta come see rugby." I'm like, "What the hell is rugby?" Like, I just didn't know. And I tell you, the first time I seen these guys on the court and actually seen it, I tell everybody about rugby. Like, you got to see it. It is out of this world. When I mean that these are they practice, if you see their practice and their warm-ups and what they do to get ready to play a game, it's insane. It's like literally insane. So it is, it is. I don't know how y'all do it. You understand? I don't know how you do it. Yeah. It is literally insane. They go, that the parking lot, they go up and down that parking lot in their chairs. Their workout is insane. You know what? Can you tell us something? I know you guys have like this camp that you go to for rugby players. Can you tell us about that camp?
Yeah, so we have training camps every month, and right now they're like about anywhere from 6 to 14 days long. So in January that was like 14 days, and then March that was 12. April that was 6 days. I'm getting ready to go back the 12th of this month to the 23rd, and that's where they're gonna let us know like which 12 are gonna be traveling to Tokyo. So it's a big camp.
Wow.
But yeah, it's a lot of training, two a days for 2.5 to 3 hours each session. Just kind of scrimmaging and going over the basics again, and just kind of getting our team to gel and play as one.
What did it feel like for you being an athlete, injured as an athlete, to be able to find something that you can be athletic and be competitive in again? How did that feel? And what were some of the thoughts maybe that were going through you, or emotions that were going through?
Just excited to be able to do that again, because you grow up playing sports, and all of a sudden you have this traumatic experience, and you're like, now what? But like I needed that. It just helped being an athlete, like having that competitive drive and kind of putting that towards therapy, and looking at it like that as like a game more than like I need this, even though yeah I did need it, but I think it helped a lot for just to kind of develop who I am now.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. I mean, when you think about development as who we are, right? I mean, you said 2005, that's 16 years ago, right? So, I mean, the development into who you are right now and the successes that you've had and the successes that you look to possibly be even ramping up at this point, right? Was that a major part of you being able to develop through the hard times? And we always talk about the peaks and valleys of what it is to be disabled, like, was that part of what helps you get back up to those peaks when you get to the valleys?
I'd say some of it, and then just having like family support, like just they were so positive through all of it. Then you got the athletic drive that helps, and then friends, like my friends and family, they were like my rock. I wasn't like an emotional guy, but I was always calm through like everything. Just like, oh, okay, all right, what's next? Okay, cool. All right, I'll do that. All right, what's next? So it definitely played a part, big role.
Yeah. Sounds like you're coachable too.
Definitely coachable, yeah.
Yeah, that's a real asset, I mean, in anything in life, to be willing to say, hey, what do I got to do? And okay, I guess this is what I do. So yeah, did that help you with the recovery process? Like when you're going through rehab and stuff, were you able to take that same stance when you went through rehab and be like, okay, yeah, this is what I got to do? Or was it a little more difficult?
No, I thought it was easy. I was like, man, football is way harder than this. Like, just because we would play out in like 100 degrees weather. It was like so hot, and I don't know. I just thought football was hard, and I was like, all right, this is different. I'm learning my body all over again, but I can still have fun with it. And like I was 16, just being able to like joke around with my therapist or mess around with whoever was there, and just kind of just make a game out of everything.
One thing, Joe, you tell us, like, I know that you guys team have accomplished so much, or whatnot. I'm like, I think you guys are like one of the like top, the best, aren't you?
Which team, club or club ball or like international rugby?
Like on just I want to say, because I know more about the rugby team first. Like, I don't know about international, but I know you guys have played like all like people from Germany, because I remember when you guys played Germany and things of that nature. So, but I know that you guys have like hit some like high status in like the rugby community. Because so you tell us some of the stuff you guys done.
Probably since like the Heat in the 2000s have always been like the top 3 or 4 teams, and when I joined, they were like number 2 or something like that. But we won the Division I national champion back to back in 2014 and 2015. Probably would have won it in 2016 but the Paralympic team, which had Joe and Ernie on it, they didn't qualify for the Paralympics for Rio. So they had to take them. Like a lot of the guys in the league that were on the Paralympic team didn't play that season, that like final postseason. So they didn't get to play. So we had to go D2, and then we took fourth, which is whatever. And then we came back strong in 2017 and then won it again. And 2018 we tried to defend our title, but we weren't able to do it. Took second. 2019 took fourth, unfortunately. And then this last season before it got cut, we were ranked number 2. So we were gonna fight for that title again.
Yeah, that's
You know,
awesome.
when you talk about quad rugby, I know some people are listening, some people are watching. For those who are newly disabled and maybe have not seen the movie Murder Ball, and I don't want to we don't have to get too deep into this rabbit hole of what the rules and everything of quad rugby is, but can you give us a gist of what quad rugby as the sport is?
Yeah. So I mean, we play with a volleyball. It's 4-on-4, and we're in these armored chairs, and it's like aggressive bumper cars with strategy. You know, it's chair to chair contact, hit. It's fast, and then it kind of depends on your function as far as what your class will be. So yeah.
That's one of the things, like, I think people that are listening may like want to know. I mean, when you talk about classes, it's kind of like everybody is able to compete, right? Like your levels of injury, just depending on how hard you're willing to work or how, right?
Well, I wouldn't say how hard you're willing to work. It's more like, I'm a C6 and my triceps are impaired. So with that, like you're probably gonna either be a 0.5 or 1. Anyone with triceps will be like a 1.5 or a 2 or higher, and it goes all the way up to 3.5 with 0.5 increments. And
So many points on the court at one time.
you can have 8 points on the court at one time with 4 people. So you're
That's how they kind of make it inclusive,
make it even.
right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's kind of more of an inclusive game for people who have all different levels, So I think it's super cool. I tried it out a couple times. I'm not a push chair kind of guy. I'm just saying, but for those who are, it's awesome.
I
It's
hear
super
you.
cool,
Yeah.
If I remember right, Shawn, isn't it about like chauffeurs and that sort of thing? I mean, is that what we're talking about here?
Well, when you got a certain kind of lifestyle, right? Pushing's just not your thing.
Shawn likes to park in the middle of the court and just fight with people.
Yeah.
Throw down.
I want to be the coach. I want to scream at everybody. Right?
The crazy thing is that you would think when you see it, I was like, I can do this because I will fight. I'm like, as soon as you ram that chair into me like that, it's fighting time. Like, I don't care. No, yeah, I would be, but they are the nicest men. Like the group, and ain't just men either, it's women also that actually play. But you think they got attitudes? Like they do this because they let some steam off. It got to be something because it is rough, it's loud, and it is a rough game. And they fall. See that's got me. The falling, and the running into the chairs. I'm like literally violent. So I'm not.
Flip over sometimes. That's always fun.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. To see them change those tires when those tires go bad, and how they pop them up and change them. I said, "Oh Lord, this is too much for me. Too much for me." So like I said, I really respect you guys because like you guys work out so much. It's like I said, I like watching it. I'm a fan now.
Joe,
I'm in the same camp as you.
Joe, who's your rival? Who's the big rival in the U.S. and then internationally? I mean, you guys must have a team that you just love to go against, or.
I'd say for our club ball, there's so many like good top teams, but U of A because they're 90 minutes away.
I knew it.
Arizona, yeah, the Wildcats.
They're definitely our rival. And then internationally, it's Canada because they're just above us, right?
I think that the sport originated in Canada, didn't it?
It did.
It's originally called murder ball, hence the movie, but
Yep. Can't market murder balls, so.
Wait, time out. The Canadians invented something called murder ball?
I
Yeah.
know, right?
I'm not buying it.
Counterintuitive.
I'm not buying it.
yeah, it was hard to market murder ball, so they had to change the name, but
Yeah.
I mean, I think nowadays you could probably do it. You know, I mean,
maybe, yeah.
I watch people get kicked in the face and get knocked out for a living, so I'm sure you could probably market murder ball to someone. Yeah. So look, Joe, I know that we've been talking a lot about sports, but we like to talk a lot about life stuff too. I'm sure you have a life outside of sports. And one of the things I like to know, especially you being a C6, right, and I'm a C5, C6 incomplete. What do some of your daily regimens look like? Do you have caregivers? Do you do all of your own, bowel bladder type of stuff? Like, how does that work for you?
I do not have a caregiver. I got married last year, but she does not help me with any of that. If anything, she's.
Oh, hey, whoa, time out. Let's stop right there. Why is that?
Right.
Why is that,
Okay,
Joe?
all right. Okay, here, look, I want to hear this too.
We're split on this. I think we're split on this one right here. So Joe, I just want to ask you, why is that?
Why is what?
That your wife doesn't help you with anything?
Because I don't need her help with any of that personal stuff. I mean, like I got hurt when I was 16, so like my goal was one, learn how to calf myself so my parents don't need to come to my friend's house and do it. So that was a goal. And then it's like, all right, figure out how to, handle bowel care. All right. So that's every other day. I don't need my parents to come to my dorm and do it. Right. I don't want to go home and do it. So it's just like these little goals I would set so that I could be independent, and, just live life and not need a caregiver. Some people need it and that's okay. But I learned at a younger age to like not have to depend on someone else. So, with my function, I was able to do it. And, now like we travel anywhere and everywhere and do all the cool stuff that we can. And it's just nice. So like daily routine, wake up, get dressed. If it's that day, I will do my bowel care. It's every other day for me. And then calf when I feel like I need to. I used to do like every 4 hours, but I was like, okay, you learn your body and like you get these certain feelings. You're like, okay, I gotta go, or you don't, and you stick to your hours, and that's fine. But I was able to learn that and like kind of just go when I know I need to go. And yeah, like I just got back from Mexico, so like we travel and have fun and just figure it out.
Nice.
So, Joe, yeah, I think Shawn was right. We're a little split here because you kind of brushed over something that is a pretty big topic in our community. Is you're married, which is absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
Very happy for you. So you're going to have to give us some knowledge on this because we like to share relationship advice with the community here.
Yeah,
Okay.
because you know how it is. I'm pretty sure you know how it is in the dating world. So when we find somebody that is successful, I want you to share it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how did you close this deal? How did you make it happen? I mean, how did this fall into place? What did you
How'd you
do?
sign that deal, man?
Yeah. How did you get that what happened?
So my wife, she used to work at Ability 360 as a rec therapist. And like the rugby guys were notorious for like hanging out with the interns. It's like, oh, new intern. Cool. And so yeah, like we hung out a lot and she liked me, I liked her, and we just kind of, we were friends at first and then became more. So happy it did. And but I always looked for someone that was kind of like in the medical field because they can like, like oh, I get it. Okay, I understand. Or this is cool. Tell me more. Or like, if you're having a rough day, like she can help me out. But I my rough days aren't like needed for bowel care. It's more like I drop something behind the dresser. I might need help getting that, but it's not the medical side. But still, having someone kind of understand, like, oh, okay, I get it. Like you might need you do things differently, and that's okay,
Mhm.
which is huge. Because if she didn't, and then it wouldn't work out. It would not work out.
Yeah, I mean there are a lot of people that don't understand. That's a
Mhm.
very good point. To have someone who has that understanding right off the bat
Mhm.
is really amazing.
It's priceless.
It is.
It's priceless. You don't have to have those conversations. You know what I'm saying? Because they already know. You
Well, a
basically
little,
just filling in blanks.
a little bit, because I mean, what they learn in school isn't gonna. It's not like what she's seeing. It's not like, oh,
Right.
it's totally
Right.
different. But with a little bit of understanding, and then a little bit of
Mhm.
teaching, and then understanding that, like, okay, if I need your help, I'll ask. Don't just jump in.
Yeah, and I think with everybody's situation being a little different too.
Hmm.
It communication is a major issue.
Yeah.
From like I was just having this conversation with somebody the other day who was asking me, why is it that you don't have a wife, right? There's many reasons I could go into, right? But for one of them is for me, it's very, very difficult when I'm managing the lives of 6 to 15 to 20 to 30 sometimes other mostly women, right, that are always around me. And then I also have a mother who's around me. And then I also have aunts around me and all this different stuff, right? Like to bring somebody into a circle of that many women who are part of your life, right? It is extremely difficult to try to get somebody who's not in a medical field or not in, say, a nursing type of situation or whatever, where they understand that a need is there, right? And
Hmm.
it's not women just being part of your life.
You need Eric's sign. You have the danger zone over.
Right? Right.
I mean, but it's true. It's so hard. Like, I've been down the road before. I just swerved at the very end.
Okay.
Before I hit the sign, I swerved, right? No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, like so for me, when you date, it's a very hard thing to do. If you're just meeting up with a regular somebody to try to explain to them why it is you have all these people that come to your house, why it
Mhm.
is you have 6 to 8 women that see you naked on a daily basis, right? Like it's
Right.
it's a very difficult thing. And for you, like congrats to you on being able to do all of your stuff by yourself. Like that's a very, like that's a, that's a huge hill or huge hurdle that you pass through.
For sure. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Anyway,
I'm gonna tell you, I don't want no man. Been there, done that. Look at me, been there, done. I'm just gonna throw that in there.
I mean, it's tough. It's tough business. Look, you got 2 guys. I mean, Don, we might as well consider you married. You might as well. I don't know why you're not. You might as well be married.
Pretty close.
So
Yeah.
it's 2 to 2. So we always have these splits. But yeah. So for you,
Well,
go ahead, Don.
I totally get it. With what Joe is saying and not wanting somebody else to do your care, that's maybe part of the relationship. I always felt that way too. But the person I'm dating now is a registered nurse, and she does help me out, and it's working out great. So I guess, yeah, relationships are different, and but I can see both sides of that. So, and congratulations, Joe. I didn't know you were married. That's so cool.
Yeah. Yeah. No, thank you.
So that's it.
I was gonna say, like, I know she's actually part of the WAGS community. So she'll like advocate for stuff or like kind of give people advice if they ask for it. And I think a lot of people that have caregivers or their wives as caregivers kind of like they make it work, some don't, and they're like angry, but the ones that make it work are able to find like shower time, like time to be intimate throughout that, which is very important. So
For sure.
Yeah,
It is, and that's a major topic of conversation we have here too, is intimacy. For you guys, intimacy. Do you have feeling? Do you have full function when it comes to those type of situations? I mean, how does that work? I mean, is she disabled too or no?
no, she's not.
Okay.
I do have feeling, which is very helpful. As far as like ejaculating fully, it's like hit or miss. Like sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it does. And if it does, it takes a lot of work and it doesn't feel good.
Right? You have autonomic dysreflexia, right?
Yep, it does. It
telling you.
really doesn't feel that great.
Listen to y'all. I be thank God I'm a woman.
Do you have to use something like a Hitachi magic wand, or you have to use something like
Yep.
that?
Yep.
A vibratory stimulator?
Hmm.
Yeah, me too. And look, and it's rough business sometimes.
It is. Yeah, it's like it's cool, I guess. It's just not like when you're an AB and you're like, oh yeah, it's great. And then when now like it's really not that pleasurable. So
I think I only do it because I think it's healthy to continually stay up on top, right? Like
yeah.
to stay on top of that. It's healthy. It's healthy for you as you get older. It releases testosterone, all these different things in your brain that deal with mental health and all those kind of things. But yeah, I'm with you, man. It is not fun. It is painful. And once you have a feeling of autonomic dysreflexia like that, sometimes you can be terrified that it's going to happen again.
Yeah. Yep.
Like you're just wheeling down the street and oh shit, my bladder's full. Here comes that feeling, and now you know it, right? Because you did it on your own and on purpose, right? So you're like, shit, like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There you
God, it's so crazy.
I'm telling you, it's a wild thing. So when it comes to actual relations, and if you don't want to get into this, just let us know. If you listen to our last episode when we posted, Laronda don't care.
Oh, yeah. He's not shy.
It's all good.
Hey, I'm open sexist. We all grown, and I think everybody need it.
I agree.
I agree with that too.
Everybody needs it.
When it comes, are you primarily laying down, or have you figured out ways to use different tools or different things to be able to be in different positions, I guess?
Yeah, so laying down's one. On top is definitely possible, but not. It's like 30 seconds and I'm done. I'm out. Okay. It's tiring, man. And then there we have the what's it called? Intimate rider?
Oh yeah, those are nice.
Hold on. What is it? Look at
In
me.
theory, they're nice. If you're a para, super. They're great.
Yeah, right.
What
But
is
getting
it?
on
Again?
it
Look at
is
me. You see me? What is
It's
it?
called the intimate rider.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm taking notes.
yeah, I mean basically it's like a seat that allows you to rock. It's
Yeah,
very
and they have
easily-
the slide ones too, right?
Yeah, so
There's
just rock back and
slides,
forth,
yeah.
fast, whatever.
Look at Laronda. She's all like taking notes here. And write that
Right.
down. Laronda.
I am taking notes. I'm gonna Google this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna Google this shit when I'm done.
Intimate rider, yeah.
Yeah. I use so there's this thing made by Hot Octopus.
Okay.
I don't know, and it's a vibratory stimulator, right? But it's for both sides. Okay, so what happens is it cups around the penis, and then it has a stimulator on the other side, so she can be on top of you, right? And she gets the stimulation from that one side, whereas you get the vibratory stimulation from the other side, right? And it won't fly off or whatever, and it can be controlled through your phone, right? So you can speed it up. You can have all different speeds, different, so I don't know if that's something that you've ever heard of or if you
No.
guys want to look
As you-
into
I might
As you can
definitely
see,
check it out.
as you can see, Shawn a freak.
it.
Shawn
That's
knows.
it. Look,
He knows.
I'm
all
open to
the
this stuff.
He
Yeah,
knows
no,
all
that's
the good
great.
stuff.
I think,
Right.
Shawn, you were the one that introduced me to that nitroglycerin, the cream.
Nitrobid.
Yeah. Explain that to.
So that's a nitro paste, right? So when you have AD, say you had a bad AD thing and they send you to the hospital, right? What they would do is put on nitroglycerin or give you a nitroglycerin tab. What they have is this paste. It's called Nitrobid, and you can get it from your doctor, right? You can write your prescription for it. And it tells you to put on, you can put on like a size of I don't know, like a bean, right? Like or a pea, right? You can put it on your skin, and then you can have sex, and then when you have an orgasm, the autonomic dysreflexia itself is much lower, right? Because the blood, doesn't run to your head, you don't get a pounding headache, right? But then you can still ejaculate. The goal is to try to find how much of it works for you, right? Like how much you need, and then, where it's, there's pros and cons to it, obviously. Nitro paste is going to lower your blood pressure. So there's pros and cons to it. But that's also something to use if, you say you have really, painful AD symptoms for ejaculation. You could try that. And then right afterwards, all you have to do is wash it off. And it's gone. The symptoms are gone in like 10, 15 minutes at most. So. Write it down. Take a picture.
Right. You got his number. Send him a text. He'll be quick. Yeah, he'll text you back. He'll text you back real fast. Shawn knows all the stuff.
That's good to know, though. Like, I didn't know about that.
Right.
Yeah. So ask your doctor about it. So like he'll give it to you, and I think it's something that every quad should have. Even just like if you carry a fanny pack or in your chair or anything, because if anything were to happen as far as AD symptoms, right? By putting that on there, you're giving yourself a lot more time before it becomes something very dangerous, right?
Right. Yeah.
So, anyways.
So, should we start calling you the love doctor? I'm just asking here.
Yeah.
I don't know about love, doctor.
The pleasure man. There you go, Don. There you go, Don.
I had to join in.
Represent, Don.
That's right.
Yes.
I'm
ready.
ready.
To represent. I should have got my socks. That'd have been too much, you think?
We probably would not have seen it.
Oh, I would have moved the camera so you can see that.
So obviously they're football fans. Are you still a football fan, Joe?
Yeah, Cardinals all the way.
Oh, Jesus.
That's my
I can't say you are from Arizona. Sorry.
Hey,
At least you guys got teams that win.
A-Rod for much longer, so.
Joe, are you doing any
Yeah.
coaching?
Sorry,
Were you doing some coaching for football or
No coaching.
no? All right. It seemed like you'd be really good at that.
Yeah, I heard like a lot of people say like, yeah, you'd be a good coach. I was like, huh, that's cool. Okay, maybe.
You're too busy with the rugby, I suppose.
The personal goals
And
come
when do you
before
find
it.
out-
Like I think that you're right, that you're doing the right thing. Like you only have a certain amount of time to be able to accomplish those personal goals.
Yeah.
So being able to do that first I think is a good thing. Afterwards, when you're as old as Don is, right? Geez, when you've seen the dinosaurs, then
God, he used Don.
then you can start coaching people.
See, Don from Wisconsin. That's why Don be so fly all the time too.
That's right. You know it.
Really?
It's in our genes. It's in our Wisconsin DNA.
It's
So
in
is
the
cheddar,
cheese.
but you know.
I don't know about them Arizonans.
That's a cheese.
Look at me, I don't know about them Arizonans and the Michigans.
Just trying to stay out of the heat.
Oh, look at that.
Careful there.
Did you see that?
You're gonna start something, Laronda.
I don't know. I don't know about them. Right, Don? We don't know about them. We just know about us Wisconsins.
Do you know how? Did you notice how Minnesota has been completely absent from the conversation?
Right.
Yeah, you're not involved.
Yeah.
Ever?
Minnesota is just irrelevant.
Too nice.
So Joe, what do you do for? I mean, what do you have an occupation, or are you just training right now?
Just training, and actually, my dad and I are working on an assisted living facility, kind of like a group home setting for the elderly. So, I mean, COVID hit, and that kind of shut it down. But it's like it's do or die. Like you got to do it. You got to get through the COVID and just do it and go from there. So,
Are you looking for Medicare funded, access funded? How's that? How do you work that?
right now, we're just looking for privately funded. I know Laronda was talking to me that there's a way to actually do it with Medicare, I think you said. So I'm gonna have to talk to you later to kind of figure out exactly how you're thinking of doing yours, just to kind of see. But we were thinking privately.
There's different things. I've owned a home healthcare business now for 21 years. So there's different ways to go about it. And it all has to do with reimbursement rates and oversight and all these different things, different ways. It's a tough business to get into. Not that I would steer you away from it by any means. I'm not trying to do that. So I had this conversation with Laronda just a couple days ago, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
There's ways to make money, and it's a good place for people in our situation to be able to inspire others, talk to others, tell them what we've been through, and understand how they may need things to live, right?
Right.
But there's also pitfalls to it when you deal with governmental agencies. There's pitfalls to it when you deal with private cares, right? Or private pays, because they miss a payment. What do you do, right? Like,
Right.
I don't want to throw them out, but those type of things. But I wish you the best. It's a place where you can make money. People are always getting older, right?
Yeah.
Always. And there's always going to be people who need care. So if you ever need anything, you can contact me, Laronda. I know Laronda's working on one right now.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, appreciate that.
But Shawn is a GOAT. He's been doing it for 20 some years.
21,
so,
yeah.
21 years. So, he's doing something right.
Yeah.
He's got some knowledge.
It's just a little different. Like I do mine. Mine are based on private insurances mostly. Auto accidents, right? Workers' comp, things of that sort. Because it's a little bit easier to navigate, I guess, in a way, because most of those people are covered for life, and the reimbursement rates are fairly even, right? Like, you start talking about Medicaid access, Medicare, right? They only reimburse certain amounts for certain things, and then billing becomes a hassle because they have different codes for each thing that the nurse does. So then you have to have these books of codes that you have to then start plugging in and figuring out, right? And it is a lot of paperwork, really,
Right.
But hopefully after Thursday, if I get this job, I will officially be retired from the home healthcare business, and somebody will be running it for me.
Right.
So, are there tickets in our future? I mean,
Sure, absolutely.
Well,
I hope you didn't put us as a reference.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that's
Well,
awesome.
I did put Eric as a reference. Don.
who's in the highway to the danger zone? Really? Come on now.
Yes.
Come on. You know you love it.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, but so I don't know. We'll see, right? It's a government job, so I'll be working for Mr. Ducey, Mr. Doug Ducey.
Mm.
Ooh.
So
I hear he's a wonderful man to work for.
Congrats, man. That's cool.
again, I don't have it yet, so we'll see.
So
you know?
when he get on my nerve, I'm calling you.
Yeah, actually, how far removed are you from his ear? I would like to know that.
I have to give him monthly reports.
Maybe we can slip a couple notes in those monthly reports.
Maybe I'm
Right.
going to be slipping some notes in those monthly reports. I'm just kidding, Mr. Ducey. If you hear this, you're a fantastic man.
Well, by the
and I
time-
look forward to working with you.
Right. By the time he see this, you already gonna have a job.
I might get fired.
No, you won't. Tell him you gonna send me. Tell him Laronda gonna visit him.
If he can't handle this kind of heat, he doesn't belong in where he's at. I'm sorry.
Right.
Sure you can.
Right. So
Is there
well,
now when you talk about the home care, right? You're talking about housing. Is that something that you're going to be doing under your nonprofit, or is that going to be a for-profit business?
That'll be a for-profit, just something totally different. But we wanted to do it because we wanted to give people quality care and not like just the horrible care that they do at nursing facilities. No offense, but like they're just understaffed for the most part, right? Too many people, not enough people that are working. So we wanted to do that mainly because my grandfather was having to deal with that, and we just found it was so much better when we had one person working with him and all that good stuff. So that's kind of where that idea came from.
and that's
You have
it's
the-
awesome.
You have
Yeah.
the house already?
Yeah, I have the house. House is set up. It's ready to go. Just working on
How many
getting
How
clients.
many beds?
We have 5 beds.
Okay.
Oh,
you know-
get it up.
You know how much you're going to be expecting in income per bed?
We are looking at around.
You don't have to tell us. I just wanted
Yeah,
to
I
know.
mean, yeah, we know. We know what we want.
Okay.
He love
I was like,
Out here.
he already know. He already know what you can get per bed, Joe. He already know. But like I said, but you know what? It's a good thing because you're right. You know, our loved ones, I always say that I think that these agencies need to be ran by individuals with disabilities because, you know, my it was the same thing with my grandmother. My grandmother threw her in a nursing home assistant. She went downhill within 6 months, you know, understaffed, not getting the clean, getting the proper care and, you know, just all of that. So I'm happy for you. I'm learning, but if there's anything that I can do or, you know, anything I can do, I'm willing to share whatever knowledge I have.
appreciate that. I'm also learning. So
Disrupt the system, my man. The system is set right now for everyone to die. And don't let anybody tell you any different. And what you are is a disruptor. And what we all should be is disruptors. So the system then eventually will have to move to what we do.
Exactly.
That's a good
It will
point.
be the system will be depicted by us, and we'll be able to then negotiate rates for all these different places for different people and care and all stuff like that. Whereas opposed to where they set limits and then you have to live under those when they have no idea. They don't even have a clue what it takes to
Exactly.
be healthy in one of these systems and these facilities.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
congrats to you on that. I wish you the best of luck, my man, and
Appreciate it.
and success. And hopefully, in the future, when you do have success, then you can say part of it was because of me.
hey, absolutely, man. You've been doing it for a couple decades, so why not?
He's a mess. He's a hot mess.
Wow.
Well, you guys, look at me. I gotta go to my next appointment. You know, Tuesdays are my busy days.
All right.
So
So we
I'm
should wrap it up.
Laters.
I'm sorry.
Laters.
You know, I'm trying. I got things I got to do. Meetings. I'm a busy woman. And everybody, you know what I understand? Why everybody want to do it on a Tuesday? Like, dang. Everybody want to meet on a Tuesday. How's Tuesday? Ain't that stupid?
Well, yeah, it's Podriplegic Day.
Right. It's like, golly. That's why I picked the Tuesday. Because it's like it will work. Because don't nobody else want to do that really on a Tuesday.
Yeah, everyone's like, you're not doing anything. You're only doing a podcast. I mean, what's that? You can interrupt.
Oh no, you don't know how many people I kicked to the curb for this slot.
Yeah.
I kick a lot of people to the curb for this slot, like literally.
Hopefully you have a slot enough to read the email that I sent back to everybody yesterday and got no responses from.
Oh, I was at the gun range, I think.
Well, good for you.
Let me look at it right now.
Oh, now look, Eric didn't even look at it. He's the producer of the show. Come out of here. Hey, anyways, last thoughts before we get out of here. Mr. Eric Kennedy.
Joe, I look forward to hearing that you're going to the Paralympics, my friend, and it's just been a wonder to have you here. I'm so glad that we caught you in the hall and decided to put you on the show. Seriously, I was looking for a guest, and Laronda is like, this guy, and I'm like, okay, well, let's do this. And you know, it's a wonderful thing where at Ability 360, I mean, we have so many fantastic people that are there, and you know, Joe, you're definitely one of them. I'm absolutely happy to have you on the show, and I'm excited to get this produced and get you on the air so that people can see who you are.
Mr. Don Price.
Yeah, Joe, thank you so much for being here, and congratulations on your foundation. I think that's fantastic. I know people that have received chairs and equipment through your foundation, so kudos to you and your dad for doing that. And man, I'm a dinosaur, like Shawn said. I remember seeing on the news when you got hurt, when you were first injured, and seeing you come so far. And man, congrats! And I will be looking forward to seeing you in the Paralympics. I hope you make it.
He's gonna be looking forward to checking into that home you're building there soon in the next couple of years.
Yeah, save a room for me.
Just kidding. You know I love you, Don. You know I love you.
I know.
Miss Laronda Hart.
Well, I appreciate you coming on. I can't wait till they put rugby on TV like they play. Oh, look at this.
Text messages.
No, it's not. Shut up. Well, anyways, I can't wait till rugby's on TV so we can watch it. Everybody can get a experience it or whatnot. So I thank you for just coming on. I truly appreciate it. And Paralympics.
Shit, my phone's ringing.
Good luck, Tokyo.
You guys are great.
Yes. All right, and
because everybody like Laronda, come on.
and for you, Joe, you got any last things that you want to say?
No, well, yeah, no, thanks for having me on. And if you're out there and you want to compete, find that sport, set a goal, achieve it, do it.
I know that's right.
Do it, man.
That's right. And I thank you again. I thank you for coming on. I think I've seen you around before, but I've never actually personally been introduced. I don't think. So it's a pleasure to meet you. Awesome to hear your story and see how positive you are and how much you've made of yourself already, and you will continue to make of yourself. You are an inspiration to people all over the place, and I hope you not just make it to the Paralympic Games, but bring back that gold, because then you're going to come on the show and you're going to be able to hang a gold medal in front of all our faces and bite it. Well, because we want to see you bite it when you're on here to see if it's real gold. I want to know that. I need to know that.
Yep. Appreciate it.
All right, everybody, that's the Podriplegic. We'll be back in a couple weeks, and hopefully Eric will do his job and get the next one out soon. I don't know. Peace.
You just flew into the danger zone.
All right. Well, see you guys.
All right, we'll see you.
Bye, guys. Thanks again, Joe.
Deuces. Go pack. Go pack. Go pack. Go
Go
pack.
Packers.